ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the video on my channel. And today we're going to be talking about pretty much the crypto total market cap, excluding the top 10 coins, which is the most important thing for most people, because I know a lot of people are investing into altcoins that are outside the top 10 because they're trying to make the most gains. Now, before I get into this, I just got to let you guys know I am pre-recording everything for the next week to 10 days because I'm going to Turkey to do my hair. And just see how Turkey is and explore and live my life a little bit. So, if you see this in a couple of days, things can be a little different and a little outdated, but right now the information is still relevant. So, right now, this chart, what does it mean? So, pretty much this is pretty much how much money there is in all the altcoins outside of the top 10 coins. So right now we have $265 billion, which is a lot. But just a couple days ago, we were pretty much sitting at an extra almost $100 billion in the market. Now, you might be getting scared and think this is a bad thing. And no, guys, it's not. Do not worry because overall, right now in the market, we are pretty much just getting a nice correction before we blast off. You guys got to remember that it is normal for there to be a pullback before the halving, and the halving is just in a few days. After the halving, all the coins start to rally up and explode over the next few months. Now, if we look at this market, or sorry, this chart right here, we can see pretty much how much more money there is in altcoins compared to previously, right? If we go all the way back to 2017, 2018, you can see there was only 12 to at one point $75 billion in altcoins. Then last cycle, when we had the rally up, at one point we pretty much had 420 billion and then pretty much almost 500 billion. So what do we expect now? I mean, overall, we should expect, trillions. I think we're going to break into trillions. But before I go too much into the future, let me go back for a second and talk about what is happening now. Because I know people are scared, they're panic selling. And to me, if you're selling right now, you're making a mistake because, like, the party is just about to get started, okay, in my opinion. So, right now, if we look at this, for me, this is just a normal correction. We can tell right away there's pretty much like a resistance right here. And we kind of tapped here. And we are currently, at least in this moment, closing at this level. So which is kind of good. You want there to be a nice decent wick and a closing like this because usually when there's a decent wick, that indicates we just tapped that area, rejected, close much higher, and that means usually we are going to start, making market structure and going to the upside. So, potentially something like this, and then eventually making our way all the way up and further up, right? So obviously it's hard for me to say exactly what's going to happen, at least right now, because we have to be looking at the closings. But overall, I know in the next few months, this is what's going to happen, and pretty much we are going to bank. I mean, it's just inevitable. When we go to the history, right, we can always tell that pretty much, right, before we really start blasting off, we always have some type of pullback, which in my opinion, we are probably something like right here, right? This type of pullback, and then boom, blast off. So does it make sense to start selling coins right now? No. For me, if anything, if you have more money, obviously I always have to say it's not a financial advisor, but I personally think you had a great opportunity to buy, today, yesterday, and even the day before for a big discounted price. Because if we go to other coins very quickly, like my boy Render, right? You could have got Render pretty much for 7.5, 7, or even like 650. Great deal. Absolute banger deal, right? If we go to another coin like AKT, right? Go to AKT quickly. Boom, there we go, right? You could have got AKT at a discount for pretty much $3. And already from that point, it's pretty much up 15%. We always talk about Myro, right? So Myro did drop a lot, which is a little scary. But if you would have got Myro at 10 cents, which pretty much what it went to, let's go a little bit above, and the current price right now, you already been up 35%. And that's without, going back up to the all-time highs. And that's without it going to new highs like we talked about with Myro previously, right? Like right now is your best chance to pretty much have the last great opportunity to make an insane multiplier, okay? Because everything is discounted and a lot of coins drop between 30 to even like 60%. So obviously in the short term, and if you're someone that doesn't know what's happening and you just look at your balance, you're like, whoa, what is happening? It's the end of the world. But no, this is just the final correction slash scare before the up move. And personally, I am not worried. The only thing that would really worry me is if Bitcoin decides to have a different pattern and things really change and we start getting a correction and start trading below this level and potentially going down all the way here. Then I start getting worried, but then I would double down, triple down, and quadruple down on my positions. And if anything, that just means um, we pretty much would have to wait a little longer to get more gains, which would obviously suck. But historically, every time the halving does happen, pretty much, I mean, like the halving happens somewhere here and we start pumping up, right? The halvings happen somewhere here, we start pumping up. So historically, it's always looked great. And now with ETS, we've been pumping harder than ever. So if you have the longer term vision, not even super long term, you know what I'm saying, like 6, 8, 12, 14, 16 months, you should not even worry about this, to be honest. If anything, like I said, last buying opportunity. And yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you next time.